the SlimNation AM, and we are here for our second show, and we're going to be here every Tuesday and Thursday morning at 8 a.m. Along with, we'll still be doing Portsmouth Coffee Talk with my co-host Leah Drake Stick and Thomas the Colonel Chapman, which we do every Monday morning at 6:30 a.m. and every Thursday at 7 p.m. And we have a show tonight. So tune in tonight at our Portsmouth Coffee Talk show at 7 p.m. where our guests will be Alvin Keels and Jerry Horn, and they are the curators of the Jazz Legacy Foundation, which a lot of people know about their November festivities where they bring in a plethora of jazz artists to the Hampton Convention Center. And now they have a show during the summer, during June, from the 9th to the 11th, a 3-day concert where they bring in even more jazz artists. And that will be at the Virginia Beach Convention Center. So they will be on our show, Portsmouth Coffee Talk, tonight to talk about the Jazz Legacy Foundation. Is beginning, this present day and the future of that, and its purpose. It is a purpose for what they do. So tune in and find out all about that. Great guests we're having there. And good morning, Ms. Orden. Good morning, Larry Morris. How you doing? And good morning, Jackie Hester, the ultimate credit person. I just there, but good morning, Jackie, and thanks for joining us. And please, and one of the reasons I have this show, or started this show on Facebook Live, and is to have the people that's watching on Facebook Live to participate by making comments and suggesting topics we talk about. You know, I wanted to talk a little bit about, the other day I was in a store, and a few people in there still had the mask on, and I overheard someone say, wow, those people still have a mask on. Don't they realize COVID is over and they still walk around here with masks? Well, you know, let me tell you, before COVID, you saw people, not as many, but walking around with masks. And at one point I had to wear a mask and gloves right after my surgery for a heart transplant. So you will see people still walking around with their masks because some of them are cancer patients, and or their immune system is compromised. So they have to wear masks to protect themselves from you or all the other elements out there that might affect their body, or because their immune system is not strong enough to fight off, you know, what most people's immune systems can do. Even a simple cold can be detrimental to someone that has a weakened immune system. And that's caused a lot by people with heart issues and cancer and other medical issues. And then you have some people that's just still being careful because COVID, although the numbers are small, and in most places they have said, okay, you don't have to wear masks, it's not mandatory, but people still want to be safe. So don't talk about those people or chastise them or make fun of them because they might be still having on a mask when most of the people don't have on a mask. Yeah, people are still getting COVID, and you can still get it. So those people are just being safe. Hey, Marilyn Grant, and Marilyn has worked for years over at the hospital, at the Heart Hospital, and well, she retired from the shipyard, and even during her time at the shipyard, she volunteered at the Norfolk Centura Hospital because she had a sister that had a heart transplant or heart issues that she does that in her memory. So good morning. And Marlon, as I was saying before you came in, I don't know how much of you heard about it, but what I was saying about people that might be talking about people that's still walking around with a mask on. And there are some places where I still put on my mask. If I go to the hospital, I'm still going to put on my mask because my immune system is still compromised. I take medication for that. The medication I take, because I have a new heart, I take it in order to make sure that my body doesn't naturally attack the new heart in my system. You know, my body is protective. Uh, is protective means don't know about that I have a new heart and it's helping me survive, helping me live. All it knows, that's not the original part that's in here. So anything that's not original in your body and in its system, the body is going to try to protect you by attacking it. So I take antidepressant, or I take suppressant medicine that suppresses the immune system to keep the body from attacking. So it also makes me vulnerable to a simple cold. Sometimes I have a simple cold, and it lasts longer. I'm still getting over a cold now, and it affects me worse than maybe someone else that's not compromised. So don't talk about or don't look at those people strangely that might be still wearing a mask out in the public. They're just trying to protect themselves and they want to live. So some people can't afford to get COVID because even with the shots, because their system might not be able to take it. So, and there are other reasons people wear masks. So, you know, and especially, and Marilyn says, very important that you mask in certain areas of your travel, especially, you going different places or going to different companies on countries on a cruise ship. You want to make sure that you're masked up. You don't know what's over there and what you could be in contact or catch. So be very mindful in certain places you go. Still, with the weather like it is, it'll be a lot of outside activities, which is a little better environment to be in. You can pretty much be safe as far as that, but still be mindful about inside events that might involve a lot of people. Welcome, wait a glam minute, people. They have a great podcast that they've been doing, and I think they celebrating the anniversary. Was it 3 years? But anyway, check them out. They have a podcast where they have guests up there, and sometimes they sit up there and eat crabs. I saw that the other day, and even that's amusing because the conversation while they're eating crabs is entertaining. But they have serious subjects up there and guests, so check them out. It's a great podcast. There's a lot of podcasts out here, but these are local ladies that are dedicating themselves to sharing information and entertaining you, just like I'm trying to do here. And we're gonna look forward to hear. This is the second show. We're working on having a great musical introduction to the show. We're going to have some guests every once in a while. Of course, I have another platform called the SlimNation One-on-Ones, which is a podcast on YouTube where I have one-on-one conversations with different guests. Good morning, Roberta Carter. How you doing? Well, I have a conversation with different guests, so that's a part of it. But here on the SlimNation AM, which I'll be doing every Tuesday morning and Thursday morning for about a half hour or maybe less, and sometimes more. It depends on the subject and depends on when I have guests. Now, won't have guests every day because my guests will be every day or each time the people that are watching on Facebook Live. And I appreciate Marilyn, the comments she's making, and she's very informed about what goes on or what we should be doing. She's not a nurse, but she spent enough time in the Centura Heart Hospital to have picked up a little bit. And like I said earlier, heart issues affected a member in her family, and she dedicated herself to even while she was working another full-time job. She was working at the heart hospital. And it really helped me to go to when I was in the hospital, especially for about 5 months, to have a friendly face over there, a fellow Northam grad that I could see and talk to. So it was, she was very instrumental in my um, dealing with it and coping with what I was going through at the time. Like I said, it made it pleasant to, it was pleasant to have her there to talk to, or just to see her smiling face and someone I knew, a Portsmouth resident. But anyway, I appreciate you, Marlon, for that. And I appreciate you being on this morning, and as well as the other guests that I mentioned. And I hope you stay tuned and watch and tell people about it. If you don't see it, it's going to be later on my channel. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, she was working there part-time, Marilyn Grant. Many of you might know her from other places, the shipyard or the Northam alumni, and other groups she's in. Anyway, we're gonna this, like I said, this is the second show, and we're gonna be doing a lot of great things. But one thing we're gonna be consistent when we are here, because we're gonna be here every Tuesday at 8 p.m. 8 p.m. not 8 p.m. We're gonna be here at 8 a.m. and we're gonna be here 8 p.m. every Tuesday and Thursday morning, and talk about different things. I think one time we had a conversation, and I think a lot of people agreed about talk about that again. How many of you are often disappointed at the service that you get now at different places you go, whether it's fast food or whether you go into a furniture store, or in some places still like Chick-fil-A, you still get the best, the best service that you can get there. But it's other places that, I don't know what it is. I don't know if people know that their job, not to, I don't understand the reason why someone would be working, or employer would have someone working there that doesn't give the ultimate customer service, especially when in most cases you're just looking for the minimum. Most cases, but some people can be demanding when they go places and be a little over the top. But that's a part of being in sales. I was in sales for years, and worked for Norton for 12 years, and probably would have still been there if the heart failure hadn't come on and cut that employment short. But one of the things you knew when you went in Norton, you were going to get the ultimate service. And I even noticed that kind of eroded over the years after I left and went back. But it was just so important. And I think, I experienced, one thing I experienced at Norton, it was the customer. Now, we had some people that came there were highly aggressive, and that was good. They did well. And like I said, I was there for 12 years, and they did well when they came there aggressive and had all the sales, but none of them really lasted long, because either they got so aggressive and they had so many sales, and they put the pressure on them to continue to have those sales. And I think they were more concerned about how many sales they could make and how much money they can make. And I understand that they often didn't care that much for the customer. It was just like, we're going to put this person in anything. And my thing was, and the reason I had a lot of repeat customers, was I made sure that I was honest with them. And if they put on something that I felt like it and they asked, how does this look? And I didn't feel like it was something that they should have on. And if they really wanted to wear it, that was on them. But at least they got my honest opinion that maybe that style wasn't for them. Not everybody should be wearing a slim suit or skinny jeans, and sometimes you have to to tell them that, even if it comes down to losing that particular sale. But a lot of times when I did that, the people might have been disappointed because they might have really wanted that, but they always came back because they knew I was going to look out for them. And my first concern was them, and that always reciprocated in more sales. And I didn't have to really, hey, Dolores, how you doing? How's everything in Atlanta? You know, we'll be down there in June. I'm coming to see Jamie. But it was just commonplace for me to look out more for the customers and call them. And sometimes they would come in there, we have a conversation, and they didn't buy anything, but that was fine. But when they came, they always looked for me. And if I wasn't there, they wouldn't buy in most cases. Very few. Sometimes they had to because they were had something to go to or time restricted. But most of the time they came looking for me, and they made or to call and see if I was there and made sure I was there when they came to purchase. And like I said, that made for good sales for me. So I didn't have to be out there aggressively going after people and telling them things that really didn't help them, or had them walking out the store and going to events looking silly because all I wanted to do was sell them something that really didn't fit their stature, or didn't fit, that wasn't age appropriate. And what I mean by age appropriate, some things, you just have to look at reality. Some things at a certain age you shouldn't be wearing. But I'm not saying people should just not wear it, but some things you should know at a certain point. And I'm just being honest that, and we see it, and we see people out there and things that some people might look at me and say, well, why are you still wearing ball caps? Isn't that for younger people? Well, that's just a matter of opinion. So, but some things are really out of line. I'm not going to go there any further, because people have a right to wear what they want as long as they feel comfortable in it. I couldn't understand a lot of things I wouldn't wear, and people would try to convince me to wear some things, but I just didn't feel comfortable. Not because it was in style, that it had to be comfortable for me. And I used to tell my customers all the time, don't let the fashion and the styles that come and go dictate what you really like. If you still like wearing a double breast suit or double breast sport coat or jacket, continue to wear that. And the fashion world would try to dictate what you're going to wear this time. And they would often say double breast or certain things were out of style, when certain types of clothing, especially in men's, were classic and never went out of style. But the fashion world controlled that, and even the stores, wouldn't carry certain things. And I was lucky to be at Norton, where if someone came and we didn't have a good supply of what they were looking for, that classic look, we could order them. I mean, we could we actually made suits and things for people. So I could give my customers what they wanted, and didn't have to worry about what our buyers felt like we should have in the store. And as a matter of fact, we used to the buyers would come by and tell us, well, this is out, this is in, this is out. And I would say, well, why don't you ask us first? Because we're the ones selling this stuff. And most of my customers were professionals. So they didn't, but they wore suits every day, but they didn't change up a lot. They wore the same type of suits. They didn't go for the skinny style. And I had none against the slim suits, that's fine. But the problem came when the buyers stopped buying that basic suit that most of my customers, all my customers wanted, and brought in all the slim fits. And where's Nordstrom now? We on the floor tried to tell them, that's fine, bring in what's fashionable now, but don't get rid of the basics that we are doing real well selling. And we got repeat customers. That guy buying the slim suit would come in once a year. That guy buying the basic suits would come in every 3 months or so, sometime every month. They would just buy, and sometimes they would buy the same suit. Then they would wear a gray suit, a native suit, and a chocolate gray and a black suit. And, you know, but sometimes they didn't listen to the guys on the floor that had the direct contact with the customers. They just went by whatever the fashion world, and their purpose was to keep you buying. And my point was my customer base is buying, but they're not going to buy those slim suits. So if you bring them in and fill in, because they had a certain amount that they could bring in, and in the budget. So if they brought in a certain amount of those stylish suits, they had to eliminate something else, and that was, in my opinion, the downfall when Nordstrom started losing their real customer base. And the same thing happens in the women's department. When Nordstrom came, a lot of people were excited because a lot of people were going to Northern Virginia to shop at Nordstrom's and other department stores. I still call Nordstrom. They didn't feel like they were department stores, but pretty much they were. But they just had a higher level of clothing, and so people were excited at first, and especially coming here in an area where everything is discounted. And but you had a certain clientele that wanted those suits. If you're wearing suits, I used to tell customers, if you're wearing suits every day, you want to get something that's going to hold up. Now, if you're wearing suits occasionally, just for certain things, you don't want to have $800 to $1,000 suit just hanging in the closet waiting for a funeral or wedding, or even now people don't wear suits to church so as often. So get something a little less expensive. But if you're wearing suits every day and that's your profession, you want something that's going to hold up, that's going to hang well on you and look nice, because the people you're going to be around is going to be dressed like that too. And and sometimes that makes an impression. The first impression you get is that first contact you get with that person, and it tells a lot about the person, the way they dress and the way they carry themselves, and what kind of fashion sense they have. It's just something, it's a visual thing in the beginning. So anyway, I just went off on that. That was my experience there, in the men's tailored clothing arena at Nordstrom when I was there. It was a very, very, very good experience that I had there, because I met a lot of people, a lot of celebrities. When they came in town, they looked for places like Nordstrom to come in and shop, or just come in and window shop. But you'd be amazed at one day I'm gonna just do a list of all the celebrities I met that were in town for something, and that came through the store, and I got a chance to meet. I got a chance to meet and stand face to face with Jerry West. And those who don't know him, you're of a different generation, but Jerry West was a longtime Laker, ultimate shooter, and his image is the one that you see on the NBA logo. And I didn't realize how tall he was, but he didn't look that tall compared to Wilt Chamberlain, when you saw him on TV. But he was about 6'4", so we almost, I'm 6'5", and we almost stood there face to face, and I had a chance to talk to him, like an idol, somebody I watched growing up, and I'm standing there beside Jerry West talking to him. He was down for the PIT. But anyway, again, this is the SlimNation AM, and we're going to be on how you doing, Dr. Bruce Copeland? We're going to be on every Tuesday morning and Thursday morning at 8 a.m. talking about different subjects and having occasional guests on the show. But the main guest we're going to have is the people that's watching on Facebook Live. and we're going to look for them to comment and start off a subject that we want to talk about. So, and we're not going to always be here in the studio. We're going to be out there some mornings at 8 o'clock on location places and just showing. I'm going to do a special show at one of the downtown Portsmouth Marketplace, and we're going to be out there one of these Saturdays. I don't know if it'll be this Saturday. I think it might be raining or something, but we're going to pick a Saturday and be out there and have a special Slim Talk AM on location down there. It's very interesting what's going on down there, and we want people to know and come down Portsmouth to the farmers market is what they call it, and support the people that are down there selling their wares. So a lot of people are down there and they're creatively made some of the wares that they're selling, and plus the fresh vegetables that you can get down there. Like, that's the word, farmers market. So that's one of the main things that's featured down there. But they have a variety of other things that you can pick up on down there, and it's just being down there on a Saturday morning with others, sort of forgetting about your worries for a minute and fellowshipping with fellow people. It's no politics involved. It's just a good time. So we're going to do that, and we're going to go other places. And if people request me to come on site to have a conversation with them, we'll do that. But like I said earlier, we'll still be doing the Portsmouth Coffee Talk on Monday mornings and Thursday evenings with my co-host Leo Drake Stiff and Thomas the Colonel Chapman. But the SlimNation AM is my baby, and so I can do a little bit more and just have those one-on-one conversations and have the conversation with you and just talk about some of the things that I observe, some of the things as time goes on. We're gonna get real with the conversation we talk about. And I definitely want to have you on, Dr. Bruce Copeland, because some of the things that you talk about on social media is some of the things people really need to hear. And I get your point every time that you make a point. It's just something that we need to think about, and some people need to be aware of how they act and some of the things that they do and the attitudes that they have about life in general. And it'd be interesting. You've seen Dr. Bruce Copeland on Post Coffee Talk many times talking about present issues. He's a social work expert. He works in the Hampton school system, director of social work there. And he's also an adjunct professor at Norfolk State University, at Affluent Strong School of Social Work, where he did his undergrad work and grad work, I believe. But anyway, Dr. Copeland is a friend of Post Coffee Talk and definitely a friend of me and the SlimNation. So look forward to me working out and having him on for a conversation where he can let his hair down and talk about specific, have a conversation about in the area of social work and some of the things we should be aware of. Yeah. So we've gone a little over half an hour, and said the shows will be about a half an hour, and sometimes with guests it might be a little longer. But we want to appreciate all the people that tune in. Roberta, Carla, thank you. We appreciate you. You're everywhere. You're supporting a lot of people on social media, and that's a good thing. You always can learn and contribute to us here that content creators, or whatever you want to call us, the social media people. But my thing is simple: the SlimNation AM, where we just want to talk about different things, and it could be light, it could be funny, it could be serious. And just make sure you tune in and join us and contribute. And again, thank you, Dr. Bruce Scopian and the Glam Minute uh, ladies for your podcast. And as I said earlier, watch their podcast. It's on Facebook and probably other platforms. But these ladies are really dedicated to what they do and bringing on guests and sharing information like most of us do here. So there's room for all of us. There's room for all of us to be a part of this thing. So thanks again, everybody. And Dolores Lewis cousin, I appreciate you. And Marilyn Grant, really appreciate you. And who else? Jackie Hester was on, and Larry Morris and Clarice Orton. So thanks again. And this is James Slim Overton signing on from SlimNation AM. Thank you. We appreciate you and have a great day. And remember, always be aware, be informed, and be involved. Your vote is your voice. Take care.